Hello my friends and welcome back to the channel. First of all, let me apologise for me wearing a vest. I've just got back from the gym, but I wanted to make this video very quickly. It's a bit of a departure for me. It's a quick reaction to the Lewis Capaldi video on Netflix, or documentary, sorry, that I watched last night on Netflix. Mostly about his mental health issues. I think it was a really important documentary, and there are a few points that I'd just quickly like to mention, because I think it's one that anyone suffering from any sort of mental health issue should watch. First of all, please subscribe to the channel and click the like button. It just means that one or two more people may see the videos and perhaps give them a little help. And also click the link in the description, have a quick read, see how you can become more involved in the channel and help the channel along. Thank you. So this documentary last night was called How I'm Feeling Now. It was about Lewis Capaldi, and the cameras followed him over the past 4 years, literally through the COVID pandemic as well. It was a real fly-on-the-wall documentary, because Lewis Capaldi is one of my favourite artists. I really think he's such a talented artist, great songwriter, great lyricist, great singer, and he was catapulted from just an ordinary lad in Scotland, Glasgow I think, and catapulted almost overnight into this global megastar, which would affect anyone really. But anyone with any sort of underlying mental health issues, of course, it would exacerbate them. And Lewis had a few of these underlying issues, particularly around anxiety and tics, that severely affected him along the route, and just got worse and worse and worse as the documentary progressed. The sort of second half of it dealt more about his mental health. The first part of it was more about his massive rise, the success of his first album, which was global success of his first album, and the massive tours he had. And then sort of the second half about his mental health and how he dealt with it. See, the thing is, and it came across on this video more than I could ever get it across on this channel, or most other people could get it across, that mental health doesn't discriminate at all. It doesn't matter what age you are, how successful you are, how much money you got, how talented you are, how good your life appears on the outside. Then there could be all sorts of shit going on in here that no one knows about. You could be suffering so much inside. And Lewis Capaldi is one of these guys who has, his Instagram and stuff like that, he's laughing and joking all the time and telling jokes. And it's a sort of Robin Williams syndrome, I call it. It's this sort of happy exterior and deflecting by sort of being this sort of jokey person, when really he's breaking up and suffering inside so much with crippling anxiety and fear and these tics and all of this other stuff, which was later diagnosed. I won't ruin the documentary for you by sort of spoiling that, but it told you how he sort of dealt with it, how his family dealt with it. There was one thing that shone across. He was very brave the way he dealt with it, because he did it in the public glare, really, with this fly-on-the-wall documentary. And he's not cured, because I don't think you can ever be truly cured, but he's learned now to accept it. He's learned to live with it. He's learned to manage it, or manage the signs of it, know when it's coming, and perhaps how to deal with it a little bit better. And, the magic things, which I always bang on about this channel, he started to include in his life. It doesn't cure it, but it certainly manages most of the severe symptoms, particularly of anxiety and depression. And that was, he went onto a clean diet. He had someone produce his food for him. He went onto a strenuous exercise regime, twice a day sometimes. Been banging on about that for so long. These are all nature's ways of helping your mental health. So diet and exercise, connection. Oh, I can't bang on about that enough. Once he accepted his issue, he learned to talk about it. There's a club in Britain called Andy's Man Club. It was in memoriam of a guy who committed suicide at a very young age. It's a massive cause of death, particularly in the UK, amongst youngish men, sort of 30 to 60. It's a massive cause of death. And their motto is, it's okay to talk. This is what Lewis did in this documentary. He opened up about it. He went to some therapist about it, counsellor, whatever. But just talking and opening up to your relatives about it, once you understand it yourself, is massively important and takes a massive weight off the thing you're having to deal with. You know, and they shoulder some of it. And the thing is, people are hesitant to do that because they don't want to put their stuff onto their relatives or those they love or someone else. But the thing is, if you share that burden, they would rather you shared that burden, or rather they shared that burden with you, than, you know, the unthinkable happened and you hurt yourself in some way. So he did all of these things. He found connection. He talked about it. He worked on his diet. He worked on his exercise. And no, it didn't all magically disappear, but it got so much better for him. And he was able to manage it. He was able to recognize it. He was able to accept it. Consequently, he releases this massive second album. I know it's going to be massive because he is wonderfully talented. And, you know, I really felt for him during this documentary. I shed a couple of tears, I won't lie. I recognised some of the feelings he felt in it. And I'm sure many of you will as well. I highly recommend that you watch it, even if you're not suffering with mental health, so you can learn to recognise some of these issues in other people. And someone like him doing this thing and bringing attention to it, someone who resonates with so many young people and globally, is so massively important. Just remember, it's okay to talk. Please, if you're suffering in any way, reach out to somebody. Start to work on yourself, start to work on your health and what you're putting into your body. Not just food, what you're putting into your body, what you're looking at, what you're watching, who you're mixing with. All of these things have an impact on your mental health, and you'll get there and you'll start to learn to manage it. And I'm not suggesting for a minute, if you're on medication, to stop that medication, because that has its uses as well in some circumstances. But, you know, you can learn to manage these symptoms. So thank you, Lewis. Thank you for the documentary. I recommend you watch it. Carpe Diem. Like, subscribe, have a look at the link in the description. Much love to you all. Bye-bye.